This is 5 on your side at 5. Focused on you.
Today, a man pleaded guilty in court for a hit-and-run crash that killed a teen outside Ted Drew's in South St. Louis. Thanks for being with us. I'm Holden Kerwicki.
And I'm Ann Allred. Mike and Kelly are off today. Tonight, safety advocates are working to bring changes to St. Louis streets as walking and driving gets more dangerous. Senior investigative reporter Paula Fassan has the latest. Paula.
Well, it's right here where just 2 years ago, a teen died just walking across the street over to Ted Drew's. And now a man has pleaded guilty to a hit and run. 27-year-old Jacob Adler pleaded guilty to leaving the scene of an accident and tampering with evidence. Court documents show Adler crashed into 17-year-old Matthew Nicolai, never reporting the accident to police. He later took his truck to a body shop to repair the damage. It comes as St. Louis City Police have seen 41 hit and runs so far this year. It's also the urgency behind a new report from the East-West Gateway Council, a planning agency funded with local and federal dollars. The report highlights ways to lower crash-related deaths and serious injury by half within the next 2.5 decades. Nancy Cambria has been part of the team working on this 150-page report for the last year.
We think that by implementing many of the suggestions in the report that we can reduce fatalities by half, and we can also reduce serious injuries by half. So that could amount to 1,000 people being spared from a catastrophic type of injury and about 150 people's lives saved.
And we also reached out to the city to find out what they're doing to make this area safer. They tell us they're widening sidewalks and working to add traffic signals. For the I-Team, Paula Fassan, 5 on your side.
A few hours ago, we got new information about the investigation into a shooting involving a fake gun at the Creve Coeur AMC. The shooting happened last Saturday when a kid brought a gel pellet gun to a crowded theater and opened fire. The child was taken into custody but later released to his parents. So far, 20 people have filed complaints about the incident. With each complaint, the child could face a new charge, including assault, disturbing the peace, or making a terrorist threat. Police are still asking more people to come forward.
He's given $200 billion now or more to Ukraine. He's given $200 billion. That's a lot of money.
Look, if we finally beat Medicare.
Campaign confusion at last night's presidential debate. Former President Trump making false claims as President Biden fumbles. Now reaction is pouring in after their first debate ahead of the November election. Nearly 48 million people tuned in last night, and there are mixed reactions from voters.
Both campaigns are trying to do damage control today as they take their next steps towards another shot at the Oval Office. Bree Jackson has more from Capitol Hill.
A more energized President Biden looking to bounce back from a lackluster debate performance during a North Carolina rally.
I know I'm not a young man. State the obvious.
The president taking a much more stronger tone in his verbal attacks.
Donald Trump is a one-man crime wave.
A stark contrast from Thursday night when the 81-year-old repeatedly stumbled and lost his train of thought.
Everything we have to do with,
leading some to question whether the current president is up for the job.
Behind Joe Biden is our nominee, and he will be our nominee. End of story.
Former President Trump and his supporters claiming victory in the first presidential face-off.
Well, I thought President Trump was calm, strong, thoughtful.
But there were concerns about Mr. Trump's series of false statements and dodging direct questions about accepting election results.
If it's a fair and legal and good election, absolutely.
With Election Day roughly 4 months away, there are mixed reactions to the first debate.
I felt terrible for Biden. I mean, that was really sad.
I'm not going to judge him on one night. I'm going to judge him on 3.5 years.
We have two candidates that I am embarrassed to say are running for president of the United States.
A second debate is set for September, giving both candidates another chance to prove to voters that they deserve a second term. In Washington, Bree Jackson, NBC News.
First Lady Jill Biden said today at her husband's campaign event that there is no one she'd rather see as president this coming term. And at a rally today, former President Trump called the debate a, quote, big victory.
You're probably wondering about the weekend forecast. Let's take a live look outside. We could see some storms later tonight, possibly tomorrow morning. I think severe weather may also be on the table. Let's go to meteorologist Gary Frank. You are tracking those chances right now, right, Gary?
Yeah, dry this evening, and we're going to enjoy that. Clouds kind of kept us from getting super hot, and we're still going to get hot in some spots for tomorrow. But right now, it's a pleasant evening. We've had a few sprinkles maybe around, and the wind's still blowing, and it's starting to increase our humidity. You've felt it all day. Temps right now at 88 degrees. A south breeze at 14 miles an hour. Our dew point around 70. It makes it feel like 92. So the mugginess is there from top to bottom, and you know it's really not doing much for our allergies except for mold. Grass still not really growing right now because it's still been pretty dry. So we can use more rain overall. The rain has missed us mostly to the north other than a sprinkle, and most of this has not reached the surface. It will not impact us the rest of the evening as we stay in the mid 80s. It's really not going to cool off until it rains tomorrow morning. And that's what we're going to look at for, I think, between Saturday morning and then maybe even into the afternoon. So somewhere between briefly and a few hours. It's going to be a lot of dry time Saturday. It's going to heat up, especially in some spots. But look at the second half of things. Really drying out, lower humidity. But we're going to focus on Saturday, storm timing, the driest portions of Saturday, and who may get the heaviest rain.
We are one step closer to a single terminal at Lambert, plus all the things $650 million can buy you. St. Louis aldermen are behind it. 5 on your side's Tracy Hinson talked to the alderman who supported the airport improvement bill just hours ago. Tracy.
Yeah, so it's not said and done just yet. The bill still has to be signed by Mayor Jones, and then once that goes through, if that goes through, the airport will be allowed to expand and upgrade their current setup. Now, one more of the boring bits in this legislation is the funds it will provide to improve infrastructure, things like maintenance facilities. Not quite as glamorous as a new terminal, which is in the works as well, but what the airport needs before all that can happen is roadway improvements, upgrading LED lighting, and putting in a new de-icing pad. It feels like too little too late after Kansas City opened their new airport last year. Alderman Cohn, who supported the bill, disagrees.
Lambert has way more traffic than Kansas City, and we will continue to grow, and this is part of a bigger plan to help the airport to grow and provide a very important and vital service to not only residents in St. Louis, but the business community here as well.
Way more traffic is debatable, but Alderman Cohn is correct. According to Flights From, which is a website that tracks flights from all over the world, they put St. Louis Lambert as 42nd in North America as far as busiest airports, and Kansas City not too far behind at 50th. At Lambert, I'm Tracy Hinson, 5 on your side.
Millions packing onto planes and hitting the roads ahead of the 4th. Why this holiday in particular could be one of the busiest of the year.
And things are looking peachy at Eckert's this weekend. Why the fruits are even bigger and better this year.